Hold up. Bitcoin just hit a brand new all-time high, and if you're still on the sidelines, you might be making the biggest mistake of 2025. This isn't just another price rally. This is a shift, a massive one, and what comes next could make 2021 look like a warm-up round. Welcome back to the channel. If you're into real crypto alpha, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay until the end, because what I'll show you today could seriously impact your financial future. So here's the deal. Bitcoin just smashed through its previous all-time high of $110,000, and this isn't a fluke. This is the result of 1. Spot Bitcoin ETFs unlocking billions in institutional demand. 2. Major macro tailwinds like inflation hedging and the dollar weakening. 3. Continued supply reduction post-halving. And 4. The world finally seeing Bitcoin as digital gold. And the best part? The retail crowd is only just waking up. According to on-chain data and social sentiment scores, we're not in euphoria yet. That means there's room to run. But here's where things get really interesting. What does this mean for the rest of the market? Which altcoins could be next, and how can you position yourself to take advantage? Well, let me ask you a question. Do you remember the last two bull cycles? In both 2017 and 2021, we saw Bitcoin leading the charge, followed by a wave of altcoin season. So here's my theory, and I call this the rotation effect. When Bitcoin starts to cool down after a big rally, the real money starts rotating into altcoins. They take profits from their Bitcoin positions and look for the next 10x. That's why Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, and other major coins tend to follow Bitcoin's lead. First, they have a chance to catch up, and then they become the new market favorites. After that, we see the DeFi, meme coins, AI tokens, and low caps start to heat up. And this brings us to the next point: market psychology. Right now, we're in what I call the smart money FOMO phase. The institutions are in, the insiders are positioning themselves, and the retail crowd is just starting to get interested. You're not too late. You're early to what could be the most explosive phase of this bull cycle. While Bitcoin going to 100K this year? It's very possible. Ethereum to 10K? It's on the table. And select altcoins? Well, we're talking 5x to 20x potential if you time it right. But you need to know the key drivers to watch and how to read the market. So let's talk about 5 important points. First, spot ETFs demand. Since the launch of the first spot Bitcoin ETF in October 2021, we've seen a steady flow of new products entering the market. These ETFs allow traditional investors to gain exposure to crypto without dealing with the hassle of setting up their own wallets or buying cryptos directly. And as more ETFs launch, more institutions will be able to allocate a portion of their portfolios to Bitcoin. Second, the post-halving supply shock. In May 2020, Bitcoin's block rewards were cut in half, meaning that the supply of new Bitcoins entering circulation decreased by 50%. This has created a deflationary pressure on the market and has been one of the main drivers of Bitcoin's price increase. With less supply available, the demand from investors and holders has pushed the prices higher. Third, global liquidity easing. Central banks around the world have been injecting huge amounts of liquidity into the economy to stimulate growth and recovery from the pandemic. This has led to a surge in asset prices across the board, including crypto. Fourth, social metrics still low. While Google Trends and Twitter mentions are increasing, they're still below the levels seen in previous cycles. This indicates that retail interest in crypto is growing, but it's not yet at a fever pitch. We're not in the FOMO phase yet. Fifth, on-chain accumulation increasing. Despite the recent price action, the number of Bitcoin being held by long-term holders has been steadily increasing since the March dip. This suggests that there's a strong level of support for Bitcoin's price and that many investors are seeing this as a long-term opportunity. And finally, retail hasn't even arrived. If you've been in the space for a while, you may remember when Bitcoin was trading around $3,000. Back then, people were calling it dead. It wasn't until the price started to rise above $10,000 that mainstream media outlets began to take notice, and that's when retail investors started to flood into the market. We're still waiting for that spark that will ignite retail interest in crypto. And when it happens, it could cause a massive explosion in prices. So this is the big picture. Bitcoin is on the new all-time highs, and breaking past 110K is just the beginning. The real action is coming soon, and altcoins are poised to explode. But you can't afford to miss out. In the next few months, things will move fast. You'll blink, and suddenly Solana will be at $300 to $1,000, Ethereum will be at 8K, 10K, and the same influencers telling you, wait for a dip, will be screaming, you're too late. So what do you do now? Position smartly. Bitcoin first, then majors, then rotate. Follow the data, not the hype, and make sure you subscribe right now because I'll be tracking these moves daily so you don't miss out. If this video gave you clarity, smash the like button, share it with someone who's sleeping on this market, and comment below, I'm not missing this cycle. Remember, wealth is transferred in silence before the headlines scream it. The window is open. Are you ready to step through it? This is System Exit. I'll see you in the next one.